Geek Dad Live presents Toy Geeks, a live toy talk show. Tonight we're going to talk about the controversy surrounding that Haslabs Razor Crest. We're also going to talk about John finding a 20-year-old Star Wars figure at his local Walmart. And we're going to share our latest toy hauls. All that and more tonight on Toy Geeks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me, as always, Sundays at 9 p.m. is John. John, how you doing?
Fantastic. How are you, Jay?
I am doing well, doing very well. Excited to be here tonight talking toys with you, my good friend. I love this shirt, this Star Wars shirt you got there. Who is that artist? I feel like I know that artist.
Yeah, I wish I knew who did it.
Yeah.
I got it as, I think it was a Christmas gift from Disney World.
Oh, cool. Well, I have a friend. Her name is Courtney. She does art for Disney World merch. She might have done that shirt, maybe. Now I'm a bad friend because I don't remember if she did it or not. But
well, if she did, find out, because I'd love some more stuff like this. I love the Art Deco style. I love it.
Yeah, it's always like when last time we went, we tried to make sure we bought her designs that are in the stores and stuff like that. But anyway, excited to be here tonight. The top of our artwork and title of this episode is going to lead to some spoilers for the Mandalorian. So we'll start with that, and then we'll go into toy hauls. We'll go into some toy news, and we'll also talk about your amazing find you had at Walmart this week. Kind of an unreal kind of find. Colleen shared here. Courtney Williams.
All right.
Corwill, I believe, is her handle. But anywho, so excited to be talking about that. So let's hit to the chat, see who is here in the chat. Classic Action Figures. Hey, everyone. Hey, Classic Action Figures. Nightmares here. Hello. Good evening. Jay Griffiths. Oh, man, so sad. Indeed.
True.
We'll put a little spoiler banner for when we actually will dig into, and I'm trying to go too spoilery, but we'll have to talk about the thing that is probably one of the biggest topics in toy collecting this week. And Jacob says, but actually, yes, we'll talk about the episode on Screen Geeks in detail, but this is more about how it affects that shiny 350 spaceship. Master Hoarder, evening everyone. Hello, Master Hoarder. Good to see you. All right, so I'm gonna put the banner up now. Here we go. Spoiler alerts. We're gonna talk about some details from chapter
14
of The Mandalorian, titled The Tragedy. Really only around this one subject, so you've probably, if you haven't watched the episode, it's hard to believe that you could avoid this topic.
Yeah.
Because it's all over my Instagram feed. I would assume if anybody else collects toys, it's in their Instagram feed as well. Adam's here. Hello, Adam. So the Razor Crest, that's $350 over 2,800 backers.
1,000.
28,000, you're right. 28,000 backers. And you shared this meme to me, and I believe, and who did you say created this meme again?
The Nacelle Company. It was on their Instagram anyway.
So the Nacelle Company, the toys that made us, all that kind of great stuff on the Netflix. This meme, I thought, captured it best. It's as if 28,283 Haslabs backers cried out in terror. So
all at the same time.
So the Razor Crest is no more. In the most recent episode, it was destroyed, and it's gotten beat up over the season and a half.
Yeah.
And even earlier in the season, it was like, it doesn't look too great. Maybe I'm glad I didn't get the Razor Crest, but I don't think there's no coming back from
not now. No, definitely not.
The destruction. I even went to to Wikipedia. My the most secure of sources, and I believe it showed it or the timeline. Here we go. Commissioned. Oh wait, hold on. You're able to see it. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Commissioned 19 BBY. Destroyed 9 ABI. So it's Wikipedia official, folks. It's gone.
Yep.
And yeah, and it's kind of crazy. And you know, it's well, let me ask you, John, and the people I already see are responding to it in the chat. But what's your kind of, you know, first take here for toy collectors that dropped a good chunk of change, and it's an amazing toy. It's still going to be a great toy,
right?
But does it sully the experience when it's not? It's going to be another year before anybody gets these. Does it kind of tarnish the second ever Hasbro Haslabs Star Wars set?
I really think so. Oh boy, I got an echo. I thought that this ship was going to have like a Millennium Falcon-esque life to it. You know, I thought it was going to be around for a very long time.
Yep.
But now by the time that any backer gets it, it's going to be a distant memory. It's I'm really shocked. Like super shocked. But if they did it, you know, if this project launched in the first season, like early, like episode 1, season 1, you know, everybody's gonna, you know, get a Razor Crest. By the time they got it would be about now, and it would be a memory either way. You know, it's like they got it in hand and then they watch it, you know.
Yeah. And if people are hearing echo in the thing, let us know. And usually what solves, I think, John, you just hop out and hop back in.
Yeah.
Right? Fix it. But yeah, it's kind of, it's really sad because yeah, we're not even getting, it's not even in hand. But you know, maybe he'll buy another ship that looks just like the Razor Crest and he calls it Razor Crest 2.
Right.
You know,
it's the round dish, square dish situation.
Yeah. Kind of. Let's see. Classic action figures who did back it said, I'm so glad I got my Razor Crest. It's a cool looking ship with great display value. It also lasted longer on screen than the Death Star, Echo Base, Java sail barge, etc. Very true. Very true. And you know, Retro Blasting, who hates Haslabs, and you could very well documented. I am not that level, but Michael French is a really nice guy. He came to our Toy Con. He was going to come to our next one. You know, really generous with time. He posted a fun video just showing all of the Haslabs projects blowing up because every single one they've done so far has blown up.
Right.
Plenty of Sentinels have blown up. Sail barge blew up. Unicron blew up, and now this one did as well. Brad Brooks says that was devastating. Master Order says, well, the Death Star came back many times. Yeah, I mean, they keep bringing back the Death Star, so again, there could be another Razor Crest. You know, maybe they'll give little panels to switch it out so you can have the new updated painting.
He's gonna have to find some, you know, funding to get that, you know.
Right, yeah,
because it's like he needed that to make money to travel, but now he needs money to buy it to get back to work.
Old School Shinobi says the Enterprise was blown up real good multiple times. Indeed. But come back with, you know, a new Enterprise, you know. So a new Razor Crest could come around, but it's not going to be that Razor Crest. Brad Brooks says it got more screen time in a season and a half than Boba Fett did in the whole original trilogy, and they haven't had too much trouble selling Boba Fett toys. Indeed. You know, it's not a complete loss by any means, but you know, as the Slave One featured predominantly in this episode, classic ship. Everybody loves the Slave One, and they've done they just re-released the vintage collection version of it, right? This past
Yep.
year.
Yep.
What you mentioned it in our chat. What is has the market gone way up on those slave ones?
I looked real quick. It didn't really look so much, but there really isn't that many on eBay to get a gauge. You know, there's some that are getting high bids, but then there's one that's like buy it now over $400. But I can't remember what it actually retailed for to begin with.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of makes me wish I kept when it was originally released, but it had that really cool vintage collection box, and Amazon shipped it in that box and put like this, the mailing stickers all over. I was like, I don't want this. Send it back. Send it back. Jacob says, I imagine they'll have even less trouble selling them now. Fett says the Razor Crest has probably more screen time than the Falcon in the original trilogy, but the Falcon was destroyed, so it's easier to imagine future adventures. Yeah, I think that gives the longevity to it. And even to your point, John, even if maybe we had the Razor Crest, they did it a year ago, and we had it this season. And again, it's different too, because we're not little kids playing with the ships. I mean, we'll probably go a little bit and up or whatever, but it's not going to have that same level of attachment. And classic action figures, the DeLorean in Back to the Future was destroyed at the end of the trilogy too. Indeed, the DeLorean was. Made it all through all three movies, though, in all fairness. But I think the main problem is going to be is what will his ship be eventually? Because if his ship is something different than whatever that class of ship is, the same as the Razor Crest, I think that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Because if he has another ship for the next 3 seasons, or maybe it's a different ship every season, I think that is going to be the more impactful thing. Because what if the next ship design is even cooler than the Razor Crest, and everybody with these expensive Razor Crests like, well, I want the other one, and that's going to be a really unfortunate situation.
Yeah, and they get better and better every time. The Haslab project goes up $100 each time, and it's like, well, I just spent all this money for last season's ship that's junk now.
Fed says most Boba Fett toys aren't the size of a coffee table. Indeed, I think it's the cost. I think you're $350, and he may have a completely different ship and they're saying the show may go 5 seasons. And so it all depends. It's so early, we don't know. It's very well get another ship that looks just like that one. I don't think they haven't had time travel. I hope they don't bring time travel and somehow, make it come back. But Colleen says it's still a really cool ship. That was a memorable part of the show. Why is it being blown up? Make people suddenly not want to own one. I think there's people in this chat that are still fine now, and I think there's a lot of really good points there. So I don't want to seem like this is the worst thing ever, but I do think it is a problem if they shot this episode over a year ago. Hasbro had to have known, or they had to have, or somebody would have known that the ship was going to be blown up, or it wasn't going to be around much after this season, possibly. So that makes me have to try to believe that whatever his next ship will be similar to the Razor Crest, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think the biggest impact, we're 1.5 seasons in. Will the next ship last the duration of the show? I think if that's the case, and it's a better ship, I think most people would want that ship if it comes down to shelf space. If it's if you have a lot more shelf space and you can fit 2 ships, you'll probably want both. But I think if it comes down to how much season and screen time the next ship gets, that could take over.
Yeah. And then as toy collectors, does everybody that those 28,000 plus that got one, do you see the market plummet on Razor Crest because they don't have shelf space for both? They want to get rid of that one and go for whatever the other one is. And then for people that maybe want the Razor Crest, could they get it for much cheaper?
Right.
I don't know.
Could very well be. It's happened with other big items in the toy world before, where they're high at first, it tanks a little bit, they go way down. And hey, look at the classics Castle Grayskull,
Mhm.
they were dumping those for like what, less than $100 a piece at the end
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Very true. And now they're like $1,000, right? Or something. Like they've gotten really
for
high.
a sealed one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, uh, let's see. It's Boba Fett's ship. No one wants to be disintegrated. Oh, here we go. How did Boba Fett get it back? His slave one back. Nobody stole while it was inside the Sarlacc. Indeed, indeed. Very true. Very, very true. Adam says next year's HasLab will be Razor Crest 2.0. Again, yeah, it's if to kind of old school Shinobi's point, Enterprise was destroyed multiple times, but there was always come back with a new one. It was different. So I think it depends, if there is a Razor Crest 2.0, will it be pretty similar to the first Razor Crest? And if that's the case, then I think I controversy kind of avoided. But if it's completely different and it's a cooler ship, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think that shows the risk of doing something like this big backed project, multiple hundreds of dollars, big ship is, should they only really focus on iconic things that have already cemented their place in, whatever mythological canon they're a part of. This is the first HasLab project that's, something that is existing in media, was up to this point, existing in media right now, versus the sail barge, which is 40 years ago, Unicron of 35 years ago, the Sentinel, been around since the 60s in some form or another. So this one, it had the risk of this is happening right now. We don't know if we're going to have that same feeling or not. But should have Hasbro maybe gone a different route. Because to be honest, I thought, if anything, there's a few other options we even talked about. But if you want to do a more modern one, the Ghost from Rebels, I know you haven't fully watched Rebels, but that ship's, a really cool ship. Has not only shown up in Rebels, but shown up in Rogue One. And it also showed up in Rise of Skywalker. So it's a really long pedigree that's already baked in that, maybe would have, but I get they wanted to tap into the hot property, which is Mandalorian right now, but maybe Hasbro's experience now the risk of kind of tapping into that.
Yeah.
So let's see. I did want to call this up here. Old School says, I read someone say they canceled their order. Was there a non-refundable deposit? Wasn't the full amount required up front? Usually with the HasLab stuff, they do charge that full amount up front. They did for the Sentinel anyway. So I don't know if you can get that back unless you do like one of those credit card disputes or something. So anywho, Jacob says I'd back the Ghost. Find out the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. We get a new improved Razor Crest. Yeah, that's what I think. I think if anything, that's what make the most sense, unless they already have an idea for a cooler ship.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can't imagine like in the, in that world that was a unique ship. That was it's like the, like a like a Land Cruiser or, anything made by a car company. Like, because when he was addressed, through the intercom system from another ship, they addressed it as a Razor Crest. It's like they already knew it. Like it wasn't necessarily a call tag.
Yeah.
It was a class. So I assume there are more, at the dealership. You can work something out.
Yeah, it's funny. The Razor Crest. So according to Wikipedia, the Razor Crest was a gunship used by Mandalorian. So it's not. It doesn't have like a name. Like a more like the Millennium Falcon. I can't remember the Corellian. Was it Corellian light cruiser or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Fine. But anywho, man. But whatever that new ship is, he's going to put that little ball back on whatever the handle. So that's why I feel like it would have to be a Razor Crest type ship because that scene, at least, if I was doing the show, I'm already thinking of the scene where he sits in his new ship and he screws on the little ball or whatever. Maybe Baby Yoda screws on the little ball or something, or of course puts it back on the handle. Like, right? It's almost like set up for that. But
yeah, definitely is.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Classic Action Figures said, I missed out on the Lego Ghost because they released it at the very beginning and they discontinued while the show is getting strength. Yeah, it's tough. Like season 1 of Rebels is not great, but it gets better. Season 2 is amazing. 3 is amazing. 4 is amazing. And I think you kind of stalled out on season 1, right?
I did. It took me a while to get back into it.
Yeah. I almost would suggest us going back to Clone Wars now and then going, but it all works. Adam says, would a Star Destroyer be too big for HasLab? Yeah, I think if you were to scale, it'd be as big as my room, probably. It'd be at least the size of a USS Flag, right? And that would still be too small.
Yeah, that would be still way too small.
Yeah.
I think the command deck or control tower would be like the size of your office.
Yeah, because the Millennium Falcon, if you remember, it would like hung to the back of.
Yeah, by like the on the tower itself.
Yeah. So if you think, if that's like the vintage collection size Falcon, it would be gigantic. It would have to be like a section of it, which I don't know. It'd be cool if they did again an updated version of the Super Star Destroyer, the Kenner playset, which again is just kind of recreation of different scenes. That would be neat. Let's see here. He gets the Outrider from the Shadows of Empire. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
I love that ship.
Me too.
Master Horse says never too big. Again, I think that one's just too big. It's too big. But that's just me. Old School Shinobi says, I would imagine Haslabs and Lucasfilms will have discussions after something like this happening. I would imagine a lot of fans who backed Razor Crest aren't happy. Yeah, but the thing is, why wouldn't Lucasfilm give them a heads up? And they had to have, right? Because they filmed the one thing we found out, that famous picture of George Lucas holding Baby Yoda was from a year ago. Like that was all from the episodes we're watching now were filmed a year ago.
Yeah.
So there's no way they didn't know it was going to blow up. There's no way. Unless they were that in the dark about it, but then that's effed up on Lucasfilm's part. But I feel like somebody in that relationship would have to know.
Yeah, because if they don't know, that could just sour the relationship and make make a lot of tension.
Yeah. Classic Action Figure says HasLab Cantina. They even featured the Cantina in The Mandalorian. That'd be cool because that does kind of. That could have been like a 2-for-1. You have the New Hope Cantina, and then you have the Mandalorian version, which it's not much different except for droids are allowed in, and it's run by now, which is cool. So that is that. It's a bummer. I will say, it stinks. At least I would be upset. But at the same time, it is a really cool ship, and we don't know. We just don't know what is going to happen. Maybe it's another ship that looks just like it, and it's not that big a deal. So we really don't know yet. It's just happened, and so it's kind of one of those things you have to reflect at the end of the show. Like maybe if no other ship, maybe whatever they bring is not as cool as the Razor Crest, so everyone would prefer the Razor Crest out of any Mando ships. That could be the case too. So we just don't know. We don't know until we know. And that's
right on.
I will close out this segment with one last meme. There's a billion out there, so these are just a couple that we did want to share. But yes, this one, Total Toy Recon.
That's funny. So if you cancel your order, this is still what you get.
I'm sure people do like recreations or whatever. Oh man. So there you go. R5D4 will be in both cantinas. There you go.
Yep.
Old School says maybe that's why the original Razor Crest toy, when they released details, wasn't painted. Maybe at that point they knew it just got in the news and they were still on the fence of going forward. Possibly.
Yeah, it could be.
Then just don't do it. Just don't do it. You'll find another Razor Crest in some junkyard somewhere. Again, that's what I would, if I had to guess, that would be my guess. Mainly because with the little shifter knob, to me, it's just it's there. To me, it's already in my head. He's gonna sit in the new ship and then put the new shifter knob on the new ship, whatever it is, and it would make the most sense that it was another type of Razor Crest type vehicle.
Yeah, like maybe he'll go back to I can't remember her name, but Amy Sedaris.
Yeah,
and she'll pull back the curtain. Well, I had this here the whole time. This is where we've been getting your parts.
Very true. Very true. Jake,
memes on point.
They are. All right. The next one will be called The Razor's Edge. Great film. You'll find it on Jakku, and we'll see the Falcon in the back. Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We don't know when Han loses the Falcon, so I would assume it. I would hope at this point he still has it, right?
Yeah.
Scott D, because only 4 years, right? 4 or 5 years after the fall of the Empire. Fall. The Mandalorian ships from Rebels are very cool. Oh yes, those ships are really cool. And I think his new ship's going to be the Tidarium Shuttle. I do not know the Tidarium shuttle. Let me look it up.
That's just the Imperial shuttle. Like the Emperor's Imperial shuttle.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm a bad Star Wars fan. I always just call it the Imperial Shuttle. Imperial Shuttle.
I think Tidarium was its class.
Okay. All right. That is that. Moving on. It's time for toy. Man, I can't speak today. Toy hauls. Good Lord. All right. Do you want to go first?
I'm sure. It's quick.
Okay.
I picked up the McFarlane DC Multiverse Azrael.
Oh,
Batman
cool.
armor Azrael.
Yep. Hold on. I'll make it big here. Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of what I would imagine it would be like an updated version of a Batman figure from the Kenner Legends of the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Where it was like big, exaggerated spikes and, claws and things like that. But this is my first disappointing figure from McFarlane's DC Multiverse.
Oh no! Do we have to give it a?
Yep.
Why is it your first disappointing one?
So the ankles are, they only rock front to back, or if you can kind of turn the ball, it's really tight between the ankle and the shin.
Yep.
And have it go side to side, but you can't do it either, like both ways. And the leg only twists at the thigh. So there's no twist at the knee or at the shin or anything like that. So it's very strange to try and pose.
Yep.
And so how on like a lot of figures in the package, they jam the cape through the back of the bubble.
Yep. It's a pain. I hate it.
Yeah. So it was so tight in there. As soon as I pushed the cape out through the front.
Yep.
And it still ripped. Like the bubble was so sharp, and this plastic on the cape is really thin, especially under and around the shoulders.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't even like on a seam of the cape. It just started to tear. And, I'm like, what the hell? So I just cut the bubble out around it.
Yeah. Let's see it. Let's see the cape. If you can put it up here.
I don't know if I can get it.
Well, oh man, dang, that really cut it off.
Yep.
Wow. Ah, man.
So I thought about returning it, but this was the last one.
Yeah.
At my Walmart.
Yep.
In the arm articulation is kind of wonky. He has butterfly joints between his chest, his shoulders.
Yep.
And they're really loose. Like it's almost a little too loose where it's just kind of floppy. That butterfly joint.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know. I don't think the planning of the articulation on this figure with the giant armor on the shoulders especially was planned out well.
Yeah.
I wish they did make the cape a little bit thicker so maybe it wouldn't tear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have to use a figure stand with it. It won't stand without it.
Yeah, because it seems very top heavy. So that would
be,
especially if the ankle joints aren't great.
Yeah. And you can't really turn them. Like you can't turn the thighs outwards to make them a little bit more, not pigeon-toed, but the other way.
Yeah, yeah.
To try and help him stand. It just doesn't work because of his ankles. That ball joint in the ankle is really bad.
Oh, what a pain. That sucks. I'm sorry. That's always a bummer. Classic Actor says, Master Horse said that's a huge cut. It is. That's a lot.
Yeah.
To be that wow, that's significant. That stinks, man.
I don't want to pull on it too much, but
sure,
it'll just keep on going.
Dang. That's a bummer. Jay says as well, oh wow. Maybe post on McFarlane's Facebook page about it. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I thought about that. Either posting or tagging him, and probably sending a direct message too.
Yeah, because again, I know that's not Todd McFarlane's intention, or probably any of theirs intention.
Right?
But they probably should be made aware that hey, from the factory, there's a chance these could. Hopefully maybe it's just more of a one-off, but there's a chance this could be a bigger problem.
Yeah, like because it was jammed in that the inside bubble, the tray, like the cape inside behind it was so tight, and even like I'll curl it up a little bit to push it through, and it still happened.
Wow, that stinks. That ticks me off. I already said that one. Let's see. Jay Griffith says that stinks. I almost bought this one. Glad I didn't. And then Old School says he doesn't seem like a good guy who I think would want to know about quality issues. Yeah, I agree. Like he's so engaged with the fans through social media and stuff. Yeah. I feel like, and again, you're not one to be like, oh, what does your stuff suck? Right. Like, heads up, this happened.
Yeah. Like I think, out of 7, like this would be my 7th figure that I bought from this series. The first, not dud, but the first issue that I've had. All the rest have been amazing.
Yep. Classic Action Figure says, I think you should reach out to McFarlane Toys. Other fans could mess up their toys because of the packaging. Yeah. Apex says my shoulder piece broke off.
Oh, really? The armor itself with the spikes on top. Yeah, that's even on like a really small ball joint. If you didn't look under it sort of at an angle and see that it's just on a ball joint itself, the shoulder armor, I could see that easily breaking off.
Yeah. Jacob says, speaking of McFarlane, how about that Batman Beyond figure? I miss Apex says, yeah. I miss the Batman because I love Batman Beyond. I gotta look that up right now. Let's take a little picture.
This is new to me as well.
On the internet, ladies and gentlemen. McFarlane Batman Beyond. Let's check it out. Let's see if we got pictures. That's not it. Must be on his Facebook page.
What's that? No, you're.
These were
something right there.
Mattel one. That was a Mattel one.
Oh,
Mattel one. Told McFarlane. I'm guessing he usually shares the good stuff on his personal Facebook.
I feel like we missed something here.
Yeah. Also, love that Todd's repping the Padre hats. I'm not alone in this world. It's Todd from San Diego. Did I miss that?
I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Because again, Padre fan, we're few and far between. So let's see. Let's go to McFarlane Toys. Maybe it's on there.
Oh, dang.
Oh, you found it? Where is
it? It's on Toy News Eye. So if you just Just Google McFarlane Batman Beyond.
Is it on the front page?
No, all I did was Google McFarlane Batman Beyond.
Ew. See, I'm getting different Google over here. All right, McFarlane Batman Beyond. I'm gonna do Toy News Eye too. I'm not gonna. This one? Let's see.
Yep, that's the one.
Nap. Oh, dude.
I know.
Ah, look, he has little rocket feet. That's awesome.
Wow.
I love Batman Beyond. I love that show. It was a great. I wish and I hope there's a day that like Michael Keaton will come back, play old Bruce, and do like a Batman Beyond movie.
Mm-hmm.
But that looks really cool. That looks really, really cool. The I've had a few of the ones Mattel has done. I have the most recent one. I've sold the earlier versions. And while it's cool, the wings, they just repurposed the ones they did with the little kitty toy version of Batman Beyond. So they
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
These look a lot cooler. So that's a must buy. That is a must buy for me. So yes, it was a leak. Yeah, it definitely is. It has that kind of like grainy backdoor picture kind of good. But that looks amazing. I'm in. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. Todd is from Canada. So yeah, what's with the Padre hats? I don't know. Todd, we gotta have him on the show. I gotta see what the deal is.
Yeah, let's get Todd McFarlane on the show. That'd be like a dream come true.
I think he would come on. I've seen him do interviews and stuff on shows. He would absolutely come on. I'll for you, John, I'll figure it out. We will get Todd on this show. And I'll ask him, what's with the Padre hats? Why are you a Padre fan? And he's probably like, I say it all the time. Are you not a true fan of me? And I'll be like, shoot.
I knew it was a giant hockey guy. I knew that.
Well, a Canadian, now that makes sense. I'm curious because he's been wearing Padre hats. So that's like two different Padre hats. I'm just curious. Anybody that knows. See, we've had Toy Guru on. You know, listen, we're gonna have more people on this show. Nate Barch.
Yep.
Fantastic Nate Barch. So sky's the limit. I love Batman Beyond 2. I don't know anything about these Dark Metal Universe figures, but I do need a Terry McGinnis Bats. Jake Rivers says on Instagram, he said it's not Terry, but that's close. How is that not Terry?
Because there was like other.
Was there other? Oh yeah,
like Future's End. I don't know if that was Terry, but like he's Batman Beyond has been featured in other series, but it looks like him, so that's what I'd call it.
Yep, I agree. That would be cool. I'm sure he would do it. We're gonna mark my words. 2021, Todd's gonna be on the show. Gonna have him. And Drake was Batman for a bit. I mean, all the Robins have like picked up the mantle at some point, right? Save for what's his name? Red Hood. He hasn't been.
Jason Todd.
Yeah, Jason Todd hasn't been Batman, right? Or no?
I don't think so.
No. Anyway, neither here nor there. That looks awesome. I'm in for that. Sorry about your Bats figures, though. That is a bummer. Okay,
that's okay. All right. Your turn.
Hold on, let's switch. All right, switching cameras. Here we go. First up, let me make sure I do want to show because I had a similar kind of not as bad, but I did have a packaging issue on one of the items, and this was a pre-order from Walmart that took forever to get to me, and it was shipped in a mailer bubble. So as you can guess, it got trashed. Actually, it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I'm an opener, so it didn't bother me that much. But let's share this. Why is it so little? Maybe it's because I'm big. Hold on. Let's go to the pictures first. There we go. So yeah, it was smashed up on the side. It was kind of crunched, which was a bummer. But again, I'm an opener, so who cares? But it is the Ahsoka figure, which from Clone Wars, her appearance in Clone Wars, which to me, save for some of these great episodes we're getting in this season of Mandalorian, the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, the closeout of the show, is some of the best Star Wars we've seen in a long time. It was fantastic. So really I have the Hot Toys version of this Ahsoka pre-ordered. So I'll be excited to get that one. This figure's okay. Like, I think it's a good likeness, but the paint's not great because I can't remember what her, hair thing is called. But it's supposed to be blue, and they just kind of painted it the same gray as her suit.
Oh yeah.
So that's a miss, and I'm surprised they let that happen. But other than that, it's a pretty good figure. The articulation is good. This is the Hasbro Pulse flight stand, by the way.
I was wondering.
I dig this flight stand.
It looks really good. Have you tried putting anything heavier?
No, not yet. And I would say it's probably not going to be good for that. Because I my favorite before was always the NECA flight stand. Because that one you can put a pretty hefty. I have my Centurions figures on it. It holds up pretty well. I don't think this would do much beyond like a Legends or a 6-inch Hasbro figure, because the waist clip on is pretty small.
Oh, okay.
But for Hasbro figures, I really like the flight stand. But anyway, yeah. So the figure's pretty good aside from the paint apps. But so I had a packaging issue where let me pull it up here, where her head was like smushed into. Oh man, why I gotta stop doing this. Hold on. Sorry. Here we go. It was kind of smushed into the packaging, so one of her little kind of horns on the top was kind of deflated.
Yeah, you can see it.
I had to, and it's still slightly off, but I did have to kind of heat it up and kind of push it and try to reshape it back to the way it was supposed to be. So that was a bit of a bummer. But I would consider that's probably just a one-off in my case. All right, so that's Ahsoka. And then I was also able to find, here's another flight stand usage, and I feel like I have to with this character. But at my Target, they still had a couple of the Rogues left.
Oh, nice.
So I got the Marvel Legends Rogue. She is great. And let me go big screen here. Let's see. She turned out awesome. She looks great. I prefer this head sculpt, and it looks better in person than those images did that they came out with.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looked weird, but in person it looks way better. I think she looks great. And it's a fantastic like female body sculpt, because we all know there's some awful looking female figures in Legends history, but this one looks really good. Proportions look good. But I will say the one bummer for this figure is the hair. It is really solid, and you're not getting much movement. I mean, it's kind of like a Keaton Batman kind of thing. You're not going much of anywhere. No. A little bit of left to right, a little bit down, a little bit up, and that's it. So, but again, I don't know how you solve for that for a character like Rogue that has really big hair, but maybe it could have been sculpted, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you have, instead of multiple hand attachments, you have multiple hair attachments, like some with some flowing up, so you get a little more posability.
Right.
So I do think for the original Rogue, that one has smaller hair, so that probably did allow it for more movement in the head. So, that could still be a benefit of the previous Rogue that was very expensive, but I like this head sculpt better. I think it looks really, really good. I dig this one.
Very cool.
All right, a little guy that I just, I like. I just kind of walk the toy aisles when I picked up the Rogue, and I didn't realize that Hot Wheels was making a Rick and Morty
cool
spaceship, and it's actually really good. So it's just kind of like, they have those like $5 kind of Hot Wheels.
Yep.
And I like picking them up. I've got the Wind Raider and all of those. So whenever I see, I didn't realize they were making this one though. So once I saw that, I had to pick that up. Big Rick and Morty fan. Even though I haven't seen season 4, but that's on HBO Max, so I will watch it when I get to it. But so
very cool,
neat little ship. And last but not least, also a Target exclusive, is, remember the old Kenner Jurassic Park dinosaurs? And they basically did a deco of Echo, one of the velociraptors. It was kind of like premium Amber Collection velociraptor, in the old school Kenner deco.
That looks awesome.
Yeah. So like the eyes, everything, it's exactly the same, or like updated, but of the old school Kenner, like the first version of the Raptor.
Did they put the like a JP number on the leg?
They should have. I don't think they did.
That would have been a really cool throwback.
That's a missed opportunity for sure. But other than that, it's like for like the way the painting for the teeth and the mouth and the eyes and the brown and the stripes looks just like that kind of first version of the Raptor, which that was the one that I had as a kid. Played with it forever. Love the Kenner Jurassic Park line. Even it has its faults for sure. Some of those human figures are awful. But definitely has some highlights as well. So
what's the thing in the top above it? Is that like a capture gear?
So yeah, you remember in you've seen Jurassic World, right?
Yep.
So they had like the little cameras that they put on their head.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that's what that is. So again, it's still saying it's Velociraptor Echo, which is one of Pratt's raptors, but it's in the Kenner deco. So this is the first Amber Collection dino that I've picked up, and I don't know if I'm really gonna get any more, but I couldn't pass up at a chance to get a Kenner decoed dinosaur. And
that's cool.
I hope they do more. I kind of have to do more.
I might pick that up.
Yeah, because I would love if they did, because the sculpt on their T-Rex is amazing. It would be really cool if they did one like the Kenner T-Rex. Like it would be neat if they kind of brought some of those back. Because there's there is something special about, and it's NECA has done it with their Aliens and Predator figures.
Yeah,
and they're really popular. So there's an appetite for it. So it'd be cool if Mattel did that with more of their stuff. Let's see. Jim Lee drew Rogue with the ponytail a few times. They could have done a variant like that for posability. That hair is total skunk stripe Peg Bundy. It's very big. Can barely move. Alex says, do you think they will release the classic Jim Lee Cyclops again? I missed out on that. Well, they kind of brought it back with that love triangle 3 jacket on. But it's pretty good Cyclops. Did we both get one? I feel like we both got Legends from that guy that had them for really cheap. I got a Cyclops, that expensive one.
I think so.
Show for pretty cheap, and I know you got a few things for really cheap from that guy as well. God, I missed the Greensboro Toy Show. Scott D. Hell yeah, I have that. Love the Hot Wheels Entertainment series. Yeah, they keep doing really cool ships, and again, this one's nice. Got a lot of detail to it. I'm in. Let's do it. Jager says I really like the little ships like that. And Old School says some of the JP human figs are almost 70s era Fisher Price adventure. You're not wrong, Old School. You're not wrong. I'm sure they may have stolen some designs from that, possibly. Let's see. And so that's it for toys, but my guitar did come in. So let's.
Oh, you got it. From Sweetwater?
Yeah, from Sweetwater. Okay. Yeah, and the thing is, it is amazing. The camera cannot capture how beautiful the color is. Because it looks blue to you, but it has like this bluish green look in person. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah, it looks Carolina blue.
Yeah, in this it does, but not in person. In person has way more green. This is the American Pro 2 Fender Stratocaster in Miami blue. But it sounds great. It has a sculpted heel joint, so it's really smooth all the way up the fretboard. They have new pickups that sound really, really good. The tremolo works great. A more full review to come, but that came in, and yeah, it's really, really cool. But it's again like no. I'm gonna try and see how I can capture the true color, because no review of it so far has truly captured how cool it looks in person. And again, if you can just Google Miami blue, it's a Porsche color. So it kind of follows that heritage of like vintage strats that kind of they used to their custom colors were just car colors that they would pick. So here's a photo that Sweetwater sent. I think it captures it better, even though it's still probably a little more green in person than this. But oh dang, I'm still on big. Hold on, there we go. Stop share. I should fix that. But anyway,
the Guitar Center picture you can see the green.
Yeah, but it looks. So this is a picture of my guitar, just to show you like the difference in color. But
it's almost the shade of the blue and the Geeks on Toy Geeks, the logo.
Yeah, a little bit, huh? But so yeah, I just love it. And I've been playing it, and we'll do a video very soon. There's an amp I want for Christmas, so I might wait till I get that amp to do some sounds with that. But anywho, that's my hauls. All right, let's go to your find this week. We'll close out with this. Your find at Walmart on Monday or Tuesday. It was early this week.
Yeah, I think it was Monday. I'm pretty sure it was Monday. I didn't know what to think, because it wasn't like I turned down the like the toy aisle from the front side of the aisle. Like I went down electronics and I walked up the back side. So this was closer towards the end of the aisle. So like as I turned the corner, like I seen it like immediately it jumped out right at me. Like
how can it not?
Right. There's something there on a peg that is
one of these things
oh my god,
one of these things is not the same.
And when I picked it up, I checked the back. I was like, did I miss a re-release? Why would they re-release this? I have no idea. But of course it had the date on it, correct?
Yeah.
And I like looked around, like, is somebody watching me? Did somebody place this here?
Practical Jokers have cameras set up,
right? Like, oh, somebody's gonna find an episode 1 battle droid.
A very specific setup, but okay.
Right. And I can't even remember what the actual peg is for. But I did scan it. I opened up the Walmart app.
It says Black Series 6-inch figure. So it's in a Black Series peg.
And it's the only Star Wars figure that's there. Like they didn't have any Star Wars figures at all. It's
so you scan the thing. What did the scan through the Walmart system say?
$12.99. But it wasn't through Walmart. You know how Walmart has third-party sellers?
Yes. Yes.
So it was I don't think it was Dorkside Toys, but it sounded similar. It was another, third-party toy flipper company.
Yep.
So it actually came up. That was really surprising as well. I did go back the very next morning and it was gone.
Huh.
So either somebody, like my guess is if they did actually try and scan it through the checkout, it would probably just, void or whatever. So maybe the manager would have been like, all right, well, just take it.
Yeah.
But the package was it
looks immaculate.
It's case fresh. It's absolutely case fresh.
Yeah.
And back then, when that was coming out, like Walmart was, famous for having those green price tags on everything. So that's one thing that makes me wonder, did it get put somewhere, never price tagged? Did they find it in the back? Was there somebody that was collecting these that worked for Walmart and maybe he stashed them without getting a price tag because he wanted them as mint as possible?
Yeah. Because I mean, going to the chat here. Oh wow, and it's still $17. Something fell behind the wall. That's what I kind of thought originally when you first said. I was like, well, maybe like it somehow got stuck somewhere. But to your point,
there's no dust on it.
Exactly.
There's nothing.
That's crispy. That's like
Mhm.
you just went in a time, and even because I was hunting these figures back then at Walmart, many other places, and even then they weren't necessarily this nice and crispy clean.
Right.
And there's no, and Walmart's pretty specific. They'll scan the specific UPCs, and it's unique to each figure. It's not like a general UPC code.
Right.
So nobody could have passed this off as a return. It wouldn't have.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have taken it. And third party seller, that's just because the UPC probably pinged whoever is selling one.
Right. Yeah, it showed up, there was one available, $12.99 from such and such a toy
Yep.
place.
Yep. So I think your theory might be right here, that maybe somebody just had them set aside, and not everybody cares about toys the way we care about toys. They're like, it's a Star Wars. Here you go, put that
Yeah.
up. Like, and just didn't bat an eye.
Right. Didn't look at the date or whatever. They just put it out. You know?
Yeah. But it's crazy. Like it's absolutely nuts. And okay, so this is it's not that valuable. Like I know that some of the Power of the Force and episode 1 stuff has gone up a little bit more than maybe what it was a year or two ago. Which is like two figure. Maybe it's $5 a figure now. I don't know. But so it's not particularly valuable.
No. I mean, it's probably $4 or $5 at a show, and online, on eBay, respectively. Honestly, as soon as I sent it to you, I tried sending that picture to you from the store in the aisle.
Yeah.
But my service was not working right. Like I would start the text and the picture just would never load.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't get to send it until I was out in the car.
Yeah.
But if I seen this online, I would be like, I don't believe it. And even if I shot a video of me walking up to it, it could have just been looking like I placed it there, and then started a video or something, because it was so random. It was so surprising.
Yeah. It is. It's nuts. It's nuts. And this figure is relatively it's not worth that much or anything.
No.
It would sell for less than any current retail priced Star Wars figure. But what if it was? I think Old School said, ask me if they have any Power of the Force yak face back there somewhere. Like, what if it was, a more valuable figure, but you wouldn't be able to check it out? Like what do you do? Is like, I'll pay you the regular Star Wars price.
Right.
Like, open up a Black Series box, put it in that box, and scan it out.
Yeah, like plenty. Like swap the figure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And again, I think why it was gone. Maybe somebody did try to check out with it, and it wouldn't have pinged. I would have taken it out, John, just like the self checkout and see what would have happened.
Yeah, I thought about it, but then I'm like, like it's cool. I got the picture, but I don't want the figure. I don't want it.
I've got 7 at home. I don't need another one.
Yeah, exactly. And then even if I did bring it to the checkout, then it's just, it's going to go to, customer service and get thrown in a cart. And then maybe it'll go back, maybe it'll get trashed. Who knows? I would rather have it just stay there so somebody else can find it. And, it would be awesome to see it on somebody else's Instagram, another picture, like it's, it was like a treasure hunt or something like that.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I looked it up. I was like, battle droid treasure hunt or something. I was trying to find it. I was like, did I just find something that I didn't know that I stumbled upon? Did Lucasfilm start some weird treasure hunt?
Their own golden ticket promotional idea. Yeah, that's crazy. That's just it's nuts. I do think maybe it was back there they put out, but it's still it's nuts. Fet's referring back to earlier we were talking about canceling your Razor Crest. He found this from Haslab. If you need to cancel your order, you must do so within 30 days of completion of the applicable project packing period by contacting a customer service at HasbroPulse.com. So I think it closed on the 9th or 10th. It's the 6th. So good for the buyers. You do have a chance to cancel if you wanted to. But for anybody at Hasbro, they're like, God, couldn't this episode like come in a week later?
Yeah.
Let's see. In my local Target a few years ago, mixed up in current Topps wax packs, I found a 1988 Topps wax pack just there to buy mixed in. Wow.
Wow, that is weird.
I would love to, not that I have the capacity or clout for us to like just go to the stock rooms of stores just to see if they have old stuff hiding somewhere,
Right. Mm-hmm.
That'd be a fun show.
If it was a store that has been around since like, at least the 80s.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. That would be fun, I think. More fun than watching Toy Hunter, even though I do kind of like Toy Hunter, but it's kind of cheesy. What is that guy still selling toys?
Jordan Hembrow, he is. Yep.
Let's see. But yeah, that would so if anybody else has any stories out there of finding this is at least 20 years old, right? Episode 1 toys came in 99. It's 2020 now. Mm-hmm. Battle Damage one, maybe that wasn't a first wave, so maybe this is a 20 or a 2000 figure. I'm not 100% sure, but still at least 20 years old on a toy shelf in Walmart. Now, Jigger said at Baby's Horse we had something like that. See, okay, well that's where with all the Toys R Us's are gone now, but and you had a good story about that, like where when your Toys R Us kind of found a whole bunch of stuff hidden behind.
Yeah. When they went from, completely full length aisles of the store, mm-hmm. and they changed it to those sort of angled quarter aisles.
Yeah.
I went to Toys R Us like the week after they had done that.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like some of the old Inspector gadgets, like the big ones.
Yeah.
There
big,
was
Galoob one?
Yeah, the Galoob ones. Yeah. There was some older carded Joes.
Galoob,
they're pricey.
Yeah. Dang.
There was all kinds of stuff, and it was just randomly thrown, or put on places because they had no designated spot anymore.
Yep. Gosh, never stumbled upon that myself, but that'd be pretty cool. I wonder if this was done on purpose with the intention of someone would make it go viral, increase traffic in stores during a depressed retail season. It's a really weird way to go about it, though. I don't know.
They should have put a better figure.
Old School says I have that 12-inch Inspector Gadget with cloth trench coat that was a Valley Toy as a kid. It's great. I have too. Mine is incomplete, but to me it's good enough. Like it looks great on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Missing some of the pieces, but that's one of those better toy than it had any right to be in the 80s. It's one of those looks perfectly accurate to the cartoon show, which is really rare for an 80s toy. Really, really good toy. And it's really, I think, is hot. Somebody's making one now that does look pretty good. I pre-ordered it. I can't remember where I pre-ordered it from, but it was Big Bad Toy Store. But the company was making was it NECA? I can't remember who was making it, but they're making an Inspector Gadget. Was probably the closest to that old
really
80s version. Yeah, I'm blanking on the name. I'm sure someone in the chat will already tell me in a second, but people were making it. It was happening. It was SH.
I feel like it would be like Blitzway or
maybe it was Blitzway. You know what? It may have been Blitzway.
Because they did those 6-scale Ghostbusters figures.
They did
a couple years back, right?
Yep. It was like one of those types of companies, though. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. But anywho, let's see. We need a collection video. I did one end of 2019. I plan on doing one end of 2020. So be on the lookout for that. And whenever John gets his room set up, we'll come over and film yours too. We'll share.
Mine is such a disaster still.
If I go widescreen on your room right now, I see you got your sculpting accoutrement behind there.
The vacuum pump and the vacuum chamber. I'm not cooking drugs. It's making toys.
Oh man. But anyways, anybody watching this, that question will come at the end of the year. All right. Well, really, really just a crazy find. So cool. And no one would ever believe it. That's crazy. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is a great. Bradbrook says, want that toy making episode special. Maybe you should document. Start just filming it now, just different steps. And then whenever it's done, we could do like a making of video or something like that.
Yeah, at least not necessarily this particular thing I'm making, but anything really. I can, I can recast something, and people can understand what the process is like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is a really good place to close out this show for today. T Ponder says, I'm kind of tempted to put my sealed vintage Miss Pac-Man figure on a store shelf. I guess, but what? So if you do that, but what if nobody does anything? Or they never take a picture? It doesn't.
Yeah, then it's
so crazy. Like the stars that had to cross, John, for you to like be there and to be someone to take a picture and be able to share it out to the world. Also says, let me know where T Ponder. I'll go there and snag it. There you go. And then I believe I want to go back to this Brad Brooks question. But Brad asked, because Brad's I think local to Raleigh or Durham or the Triangle. Can we ask which Walmart is John's Walmart, or is it a trade secret? Seems like a unique place.
Oh, it is unique. It's Sanford. If you are in the Wake County, Durham County area, it's a complete crapshoot to go there. I am there almost every morning, literally. Once a week, maybe I'll find something. And then if you say, where's Sanford? You really don't want to make the drive, because it's a very boring drive too, if you're coming from Raleigh.
I mean, it's not bad if you like highways with trees. That's most of any drive in North Carolina. You're just going to be with trees. It's what it is. But no, Sanford is very, and it's on the up and up. It is. I mean, like a lot of things around this area are growing pretty fast. But my closest Walmart is awful. The toy section is terrible. But luckily, I live still pretty close to Briar Creek as well. So that if I do a Walmart hunt, I'll check out that one as opposed to the one that's closer, which is off of Glenwood Avenue. But anywho, that is that. Old School likes the idea of how to make a toy. Apex says my Walmart sucks. We have a town here called Apex. Don't know if you know about it, but that Walmart is okay. I haven't been there in a while though. It's kind of a hike for me.
I used to find some good stuff there.
Old School says I was at my local Walmart a couple hours ago and I came out questioning the future of humanity. It is crazy. It is kind of crazy how is there a good Walmart? Is there truly a good Walmart? I don't think I've found one yet. And Classic Actuator says, thanks for the live stream. Have a great week, everyone. Yes, thank you, everyone. You get to touch upon, maybe we'll save it for next week, but the Target scalper policy is kind of crazy. Maybe we'll touch on that next week. T Ponder says he's headed to Walmart right now. Good luck.
Good luck.
Time zone right now, but it is getting close to the Walmart witching hour. It is past 10 p.m. here on the East Coast. And personally, I love going late night Walmart trips because again,
I'm an early morning, 7 a.m. The doors open. I'm in there.
Old School says, thanks for the stream. Looking for the McFarlane app. Again, I'm calling my shot. Babe Ruth.
30. Maybe it could be like 100th episode special.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Well, this is episode 26, I think. If we do,
I feel like we've done more.
It may be, but if we do one a week, if 100 might not come till like next year, so maybe 50, maybe for our 50th anniversary. Vandalia, Ohio Walmart is amazing. Okay, well, maybe that was for the other one. the first Walmart I ever went to was in Ohio, because we did not have them in San Diego until I was an adult, and it was pretty much moving away. But I did a trip to see family in Ohio, and that was the first one I went to. Have a good week, all. Be safe. Be safe, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, as always, 9 p.m. right here on Geek Dad Life. We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego. And goodbye.